Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Now today I'm going to make some mini oatmeal and seed bites. These are similar to something called Aussie bites that are available, I know, in the United States, though they don't appear to have very much to do with Australia at all, from what I've been able to research. So I'm not calling mine Aussie bites, but they have basically the same ingredients as those. And these are little 2-bite cakes that are cooked in a mini muffin tin. This should make 24, but I've only got a 12-hole tin, so I'm going to do it in 2 batches. And for that we have oatmeal and then various seeds and flavourings. So for the ingredients I have 1 3/4 cups of oatmeal, which works out at 145 grams, and then most of the other things are 1/4 cup. So in this bowl I have 1/4 cup of oil and 1/4 cup of honey. Here I have which is 60 millilitres of oil, 60 millilitres of honey. Here I have 1/4 cup of melted butter, which is 56 grams of butter. 1/4 cup of cooked quinoa, which works out at 50 grams. You could use dry quinoa, but cooked is better, I think, for texture. And then I have 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds, which is 35 grams. 1/4 cup of ground flax seed, also known as ground linseed, and that is 25 grams. I have 1/4 cup of dried apricots, mine are chopped, and that's 48 grams. I have 1/4 cup of sugar, which is 50 grams. 1/4 cup of desiccated coconut, which is 17 grams. 1/4 cup of raisins, which is 40 grams. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, and I have 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Now I'm using 1 tablespoon of black and 1 tablespoon of white chia seeds, but any that you can get is what you need. And I also have half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I've not measured out, so I'll get that out of the cupboard. And the first thing I'm going to do is to grind about half of the oats, and I'm going to do all this in my immersion blender. You could do it in a food processor, but I just think it's so quick and easy to do, and this takes a lot less cleaning up afterwards. And I'm going to grind that into a powder. And then I'm simply going to put that into my bowl. And then I'm going to add the other ingredients, and I'm going to grind those as well. This is basically to chop the raisins and the apricots into smaller pieces still, and I'm going to put the remaining oats in with that as well. I forgot the quinoa. And that's all the mixing of those that we have to do. And then I'm just going to stir that around to incorporate the oats that I did first of all. And then I'm going to pour in the wet ingredients, which is the butter, the oil and the honey, and then half a teaspoon of vanilla extract or thereabouts. And I'm simply going to mix that all together. Now I had my oven preheating at 180 Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I've greased my mini muffin tin. And that's all the mixing I'm going to do, but I actually want to weigh the mixture so I can divide it by 24. So I'm going to actually just transfer that into this bowl so I can get the accurate weight. So I've got 617 grams, so I need about 25 or 26 grams for each one. And I think this little ice cream scoop is almost about enough. So it's as you can see, that's 26 grams, and that's just filling the hole. So that's what I'm going to do, just fill the hole each time. So with that filled, I'm going to bake those in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes until they've dried out a little bit and turned a nice colour. And then I'm going to take them out, let them cool down in the tin, and then I'll tip them out onto a wire rack, and I'll come in back and show you the results. I baked our mini bites for 12 minutes, and then I'll let them cool down and turn them out onto a wire rack to finish cooling completely. And this is what they look like. So they bake quite nicely, and I'll have a taste of one. I have a nice taste not too sweet because there's not too much sugar. There's honey, but not too much honey and sugar. And you've got lots of different texture and lots of different flavours coming through there. I can taste a little bit of the coconut. I can taste the honey and the apricots and raisins. I can't claim to taste the chia seeds, so I'm not entirely sure what they taste like. But it's very, very good. Ideal for a little snack, I would think. And so that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, which will take you to this recipe, and I'll put a link to it below the video as well. And then I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.